everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your girl Know Me, yeah, you know me, and we are discussing the tea on Love is Blind season 3 episode 1. Okay, so I have a little bit of a confession to make. When I first started watching this show, it was because my mom turned it on and I just happened to pop in the room when she was on episode 4. I never actually watched episodes 1 through 3. I thought it would be a great idea for me to go ahead and get my very first impressions on camera with you guys based on these episodes and what went down. Oh wait. But before we get started, I have to ask you guys, if you're liking this channel so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Throw me a like if you're feeling ever so gracious. And without any further ado, we'll get right into the video. Okay, so first impression, right off the bat, SK got on my nerves. The very first scene, I noted that SK had a racial complex of some sort and he seemed insecure about him being a black man. I found that absolutely pitiful and disgusting. If I'm being real, that was just so embarrassing. We'll say Mrs. Lachey, because I don't remember her name. But she even seemed very uncomfortable. Like that smile that was plastered on her face did not meet her eyes, and you could tell. The first thing that he thought he should bring up was the fact that women wouldn't give him a chance because of his race. Basically, what I gathered is that he was using the show as a way to hide from what he thought was an imperfection, and that was pretty pitiful, especially as a man. Awkward. That was not the move. That was not it, sir. That was not it. So the first thing I noticed about Nancy and Bartis is that they had an off-the-rip instant connection. Bartis mentioned in one of his first scenes that he wanted someone who was going to be there for him when he was old and no longer handsome and, you know, no longer had the muscles and all that stuff. He was looking for someone that could meet his needs on a deeper level. Of course, you can't make any judgments just yet, but it seemed like him and Nancy were off to a pretty good start, and so I thought maybe they were heading in the right direction. He had concerns about being judged for his young age and the fact that people would preconceive him as being immature just because he's 25 years old, which I thought was interesting because isn't that what most people think? And isn't it usually true? Like, sir, you can't make the exception the rule. It doesn't work like that. But anyways, off to the next person. So it also seemed that Raven and Bartis had a connection based on their shared love of fitness and health. But Raven also in a later scene acknowledged that muscles tend to blind her and that when a man is fit, she's overly forgiving where she probably shouldn't be. And so I found that very interesting that she said that, but it seemed that Bartis was more of her comfort zone as they had that shared connection over fitness, mind you. Because she's familiar with fit men. She's familiar with men who enjoy going to the gym. She's familiar with that crowd. And so in a situation that's so new, such as Love is Blind, where you can't see the person you're talking to, it makes sense that she would cling to what she is familiar with. But I do think that it should be noted that that is a potential mistake that she could be making. I just want to know, what do you guys think about that? Would you be willing to put yourself in a position where you're not able to so easily go into your comfort zone? Could you imagine if you were just talking to somebody and you had no clue what they look like, but you found yourself falling for them? I don't think I could. That's a crazy situation to be in. But anywho, off to the next person. So Colleen pretty much showed that ballet is basically like her identity. At this point, I'm convinced that it's her single-handed punchline. I felt like personally, she knew what she was doing by throwing that bait out there that she's a ballet dancer, breadcrumb these guys into imagining what she could be, what she must look like. Of course, men are visual creatures, and since their visual has been taken away, all they have left is the visual that their imagination constructs. But they must know that she has to be like in good shape, right? Come on now. We know why. You know why? Don't pretend. Girl, you know why. Don't they know why, mama? She was supposed to be showing more depth of who she is and what her character is like, but she instead chose to lead with that. And that was kind of weird. When she was having her conversation with Cole, she literally said, "I'm very flexible, super limber. I can do the splits. That's all you need to know." Colleen? What were you doing? I felt like Colleen felt that her physicality and what she was able to do was going to be her leverage over the other women and her leg up, so to speak. What did you come here for, Colleen? Did you come here for a bed buddy or did you come here for a husband? I'm confused. The fact that she had to do this in order to maintain their attention in her mind, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Okay, and then off to the next person. Cole is weird. Like, I don't know what woman would be attracted to Cole except for a woman that's about 19 or 20. And apparently that doesn't apply to all because I don't like him. He seemed kind of girly to me because at the time that the Jonas Brothers were popular, he would have been in his early teens, maybe mid-teens, maybe. But I felt like it was so weird the fact that he said they're hunks and that, like, we would marry any one of them. I would have been like, sir, is there something you trying to tell me? But anyways, I digress. Off to the next person. Alexa was funny. Her first interaction with Cole came up and she was making that face like, and she had her head down. That is exactly how I felt listening to Cole. Aside from that, her no took me out. That was so funny. That part just kind of sent me over the edge. I guess because Cole was already getting on my nerves, so to see somebody actually come up on the screen and be reflecting exactly what I was thinking, it was quite funny. So off to the next couple. Nancy and Bartis have a date where she actually opens up to Bartis about being an egg donor in her early 20s. I thought that was so interesting. It kind of showed more about her personality and what kind of heart she has to want to give to other people so that they can have children. Overall, I just thought that was a very selfless act of her. But after that, something that I noticed that was kind of like, ugh. Bartis said getting pumped full of kids from a kid. And I was just like, dude, why did you say that? And he was laughing. I was just like, that's nasty. Especially with the fact that she was just learning of his actual age because she'd had no clue beforehand. Then he made that tasteless comment and proceeded to laugh while Nancy was actually struggling with the fact that this guy I'm sitting over here having flirtatious conversation with is 25 and she's 31. I thought that was, childish. I think he was trying to laugh it off so that it wouldn't seem as serious as it was to her. Sir, why are you laughing? This is a serious conversation. It's time to be an adult. Stop laughing like a little kid, like you just heard a fart noise for the first time or something. Like, what are you doing? She was fretting about it ever since. So the next couple that I want to discuss is Brennan and Alexa. In my opinion, Brennan and Alexa seem to really be hitting it off, and they made a connection early on over their shared family values, which I thought was so cute. Alexa brought up the fact that she was actually missing her family. She was used to talking to them every day, and now being cut off from social media, they don't have their phones. They're completely isolated so that they can take in this experience. She brought that up and shared that with Brennan. And Brennan actually took that opportunity to open up more about his childhood and why he values family so much, which I thought was a very brave and vulnerable thing for him to do because opening up about childhood traumas is not easy, but he chose to do it in good faith. And it actually worked out in his favor because they bonded over that and they gained a deeper connection based off of what he decided to share with her. But off to the next scene. I noticed that Nancy and Andrew seem to have a more traditional style connection than she did with Bartis. Nancy actually said that she admires him for his achievements, for the adventurous things that he's done, and for what he could possibly help her achieve or teach her, which I thought was traditionally attractive in a guy. Until this happened. So your boy Andrew just busted out with the sex talk out of nowhere. Maybe he was really feeling Nancy, so he was just like, man, I just gotta let this tiger out, like, Arr! I was like, oh my gosh. And I was looking at Nancy's reaction. I couldn't tell if she was just stunned or if she was actually uncomfortable. She said that it was hot, but her reaction at the time looked like, oh my gosh, is this guy really doing this? Like, who told him to start talking about this? What is this? What's going on right now? Sir, why? Why in this way? Couldn't you at least waited for her to kind of, you know, like open the door to intimate conversation, and then you could have busted out the, like, he didn't even wait for her to open the door. He just busted out the closet like, He's lucky that he has a very attractive voice, because I think that's the only reason that she even listened to that. I felt like that was just off the wall. Like, that was just kind of unexpected. But anyways, off to the next point. Why did Colleen get rejected 2 times in this episode back to back? I was like, ooh, this is terrible. The first thing that happened was that Brennan ditched Colleen for Alexa. He was like, let me safeguard my pursual of her and just let you know right now, I'm not interested in pursuing anything else with you. My interests are over here. You can stay over there. And it was like right after she got into the room too. But I mean, hey, what was he supposed to do? Sit there and have a full-on date with her and then tell her after the fact? I thought personally that it was the right thing to do, to just go ahead and cut that off right there. Colleen just, she couldn't take it. She just could not take it. And I mean, I would understand more so if she had actually developed a real connection with this person and she was just hurt over the fact that, you know, the connection didn't work out. But what she was really hurt about was just being rejected, period. Not being rejected by him in particular, not being shut off from exploring more of what that relationship could have been, but she was just upset about being rejected by a guy. I found that very interesting. It kind of gave me a more in-depth look at her, you know, about as deep as a shallow pool can get. Right after that, she ended up going on a date with Cole, which boasted up her ego. Like, right after she came out of that, she was all bubbly smiles, laughter, ha ha ha, like, oh, I feel so good. And then she got shot down by Cole after that on another date. I was like, oh my goodness, is this girl gonna learn? He was trying to encourage her to open up to him. He was saying that if you can't open up to me and show me what's in your heart, how am I supposed to marry you? Which is reasonable. Any guy, any woman, any person should feel that way. Like, who's going to marry you when they don't even know your core values or beliefs? Who would do that? So Cole basically let her know, look, girl, look here, Captain, it ain't going down like that. He was trying to give her a chance to open up to him. I just need to know more of you. I need to know more of who Colleen is on the inside, and she just could not give that. She literally said out of her own mouth that she enjoyed keeping things light and easy going. It was like, okay, but that can only sustain you for so long though. It's only certain kind of relationships you're going to attract with that kind of mindset, with that kind of energy. If you're too scared to reveal who you really are on the inside, Colleen, why you doing big girl things? You got little girl energy. Why you talking about being flexible and what y'all possibly will be doing in the bedroom, but you're acting like a little girl? You're too scared to open up and show who you are. What sense does that make, really? I don't understand that mindset. That personally doesn't make sense to me. If you love someone, you're going to show your true character to them because you can't help it. This girl was not trying to do that. She was not trying to hear that. Keeping things shallow. I don't want you to be all up in my mix. I don't want you to know my heart, my soul. I don't want you to know any of that. That's not your business. Which I have to ask her, what kind of relationship did she think she was going to get with that? Like, you think you're going to get a long-lasting marriage with that? You have to know that y'all's core beliefs are compatible, because that's what's going to keep you together when you guys are going over rocky shores. Does she not know who she is? Is she just afraid to open herself up and show who she is? What's going on with you? Are you literally like water and you just conform to whatever mold you're put into? You could just tell what people perceive her to be as. She relies on that for her self-esteem. She literally said that her being rejected took a jab at her self-esteem. Colleen, what are you doing? That's not real self-esteem. That's a mirage. If you're going to base your self-esteem on somebody liking you, you can't control whether or not somebody likes you, Colleen. It might hurt, but it shouldn't like wear your self-esteem down. If I were her, my self-esteem would be worn down by the fact that men just want to try you out and they don't want to keep you. If they just want to do the free trial, they not trying to subscribe. Speaking of subscribe, if you guys are enjoying this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But back to the topic, Nomi. She was just having such a hard time accepting this. She just couldn't grasp what she was doing wrong. It was like she's trying to play cat and mouse and dodge the fact that you're never going to find a genuine deep connection if you don't open up. Oh, what's wrong? She was stressing me out, acting like she don't understand why these guys aren't taking her seriously. Anyway, oh, Zenab, is that my mic showing? Oh no, what is that? Zenab ended up opening up to Cole about how she lost her parents at a very young age and how that affected her. Very interesting. I personally didn't feel like Cole really gave much of substance, but there are cutscenes, so maybe we just didn't see that side of him. I didn't feel like he gave enough substance to where that was something that she should have told him. I don't know why, but I didn't feel it, you know. But she was attracted to him. She said that she even liked the way he said her name. She liked the way that he talked about his faith and about his family. So I'm guessing there had to be some kind of conversations that was going on that we didn't see as the viewers. But personally, I just don't, I just don't see how anyone could be attracted to Cole. I don't see how you could take him seriously. He just like reminds me of a kid. I don't know. No. She ended up opening up to him, and ultimately this is what changed his mind about her. You could see the shift afterwards. He even said it out loud, which was that her opening up that way to him gave him a more in-depth view of her character and made him ultimately more attracted and more connected with her. And so I thought that was interesting because at least he was able to handle a serious topic and not make a joke for a little while. Well, at least in that regard, he was respectful. It was all right, but I still didn't think that was the guy. Off to the last bit of news. Brennan and Alexa actually ended up getting engaged. This to me was the best part of the whole episode. I thought it was very cute how Brennan proposed to her. He just seems like such a sweet guy. He would fight for her, and that as long as she would let him, he wanted to love her with everything he had. And I just thought that was so sweet. And what better way to end the episode? Okay, and that is the end of my review. What did you guys think about this? Like, did y'all like Cole? Because I really just need to know this. Like, did y'all like Cole? Is he attractive to y'all? Because I want the tea. I want to know what y'all really thinking. Because I'm like, how did Zenab end up attracted to him? I don't get it. I don't understand. I would love to know what you guys thought about it. Who is y'all's favorite couple so far? Who are you rooting for? Let me know in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed what I had to say here. Or, even if you didn't, you can still give a girl a thumbs up, Signing off, it's your girl Know Me. Yeah, you know me. And I enjoyed spilling this tea with you guys. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.